Hey VC, how's it going? I hope you guys had a great holiday and I hope that your 2019 is getting off to a great start. I don't know about you guys, but I had a really terrible 2018 and I'm really looking forward to having a much better year in 2019. And I'm also hoping that I will be able to invest a little bit more time in vinyl hysteria. Work has been sort of insane and my commute is very long and my hours are pretty limited. When I do have a little bit of free time, I have a million other things to do. So I haven't been doing as much vinyl hysteria, but I hope to change that in 2019. Fingers crossed, at least towards the end of 2019, I hope. After my move and after everything sort of calms down a little bit. So in the meantime, I thought I would do this quick video because I want to show you guys my top albums of the year. Um, just like 2017, 2018 was a fantastic year for music. There was so much great stuff, and I had a really, really hard time pinning down my top 10. And then I thought, okay, there are all these other ones I want to do. Maybe I'll do a top 25, maybe I'll do like, and then it ended up being this thing where I was like, okay, I'm going to end up doing like a top 50 because there were just so many albums out this year that I really, really loved. What I decided to do was pick my top 10 and then the next 10 that I wanted to put in the 11 spot, I'm just going to give them honorable mentions. So I'm going to go ahead and mention those first. These are not in any order. I think all these albums are fantastic and really worthy of a listen, but they just didn't make it into my top 10. I still love them, and so I wanted to give them a shout out. And I'm going to put some links below to some YouTube videos so that you guys can kind of check out their music. It's really, these bands are all great. These albums are fantastic. I wish that I could just, do a top 100, but after 10, it starts to get really kind of mushy because I want everyone to be in that 11th spot because I like all these albums. So in no particular order, here are my honorable mentions. The first one is Wimps, Garbage People. Great album, really good punk music. Definitely every bit as good as their other albums, and yeah, I really enjoy it, and so that one's in there. Another one is Gabby's World. Gabby's World used to be formerly Eskimo, and Gabby put out a new album this year. It's called Beast on Beast. It's really fantastic. I don't have the vinyl yet. I ordered the vinyl, but it just came in, so I'm hoping that that'll arrive within the next week or two. So that's exciting. So Gabby's World, Beast on Beast. Frankie Cosmos had a new album out this year called Vessel. I think that was one of the first things I ordered actually in 2019, or I'm sorry, 2018 was that album because it came out much earlier in the year. So that's another great one to give a listen to. Yoke, the louder I call, the faster it runs. Fantastic. I love Yoke. I love Jen Wasner and pretty much everything that she does. That was a really good album. Excellent. Check it out. Courtney Barnett. I was never a Courtney Barnett fan before. This album really got me. Tell Me How You Really Feel. For some reason, I just never really connected with a lot of her music except for one song. And then this album I listened to and I really enjoyed the whole thing. So definitely I know that's on a lot of people's top 10 this year, and again, I wish it could have been, but there were just so many great albums. But I really did enjoy it, so that's on my list. The Hearts Beat Loud soundtrack. The Hearts Beat Loud was a great little indie film about a father who owns a record store, and his daughter, she's going off to college, and he kind of wants to start a band with her. And so it's a great movie. It's a feel-good movie, and it centers around music and vinyl and record stores, all that kind of great stuff. So I really liked that. And I thought the music was great too. So that soundtrack is definitely on my list of honorable mentions. Also Florence and the Machine, High as Hope. I was never a Florence fan before, but this album really hooked me. And then I got into her other music, like her previous music based on that. So yeah, I gave High as Hope a lot of time this year. I listened to it a whole lot. So that's another one to check out. Natalie Prass had a new album this year. I was really looking forward to that one too. It's called The Past and the Future. That's a really excellent one. Great music, really good. And it's a great follow-up, I think, in terms of, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago when she put out her other album, like her first full album, and it was yeah, so this one was great too. Really, really great music, a lot of fun. It's definitely like a summer album for sure. Another album was Yowler, Black Dog in My Path. really, I think I showed that on my last video maybe. That was a really excellent album, fantastic. A lot of growth in that album from the first one, so that was a great one. And Free Cake for Every Creature, Bluest Star, which I actually got for Christmas this year, so I was pretty excited about that. Um, Luckily, my wife gave me some of the things that I had on my list that I really wanted, but just hadn't picked up yet. So again, like most years, my list is huge. There's so much on it that I want, but obviously I can't buy every album. I just don't have the money. So I was really excited to get that. So those are the ones that I have in my honorable mentions, and now I will get to my top 10. In 10th place, we have Tomberlin at Weddings. This is a really fantastic album. I love how quiet it is. It's really great for working or just relaxing. Like, I love just how gentle it is and how soothing it is. It's a really great indie record, guitar driven, really, really good stuff. So that's my number 10. In number 9, I have Pedal, another indie band. I think this one came out much earlier in the year, but this one, I had this on rotation for a long time. Just really great indie music. I love her voice. Just really good stuff. So that's my number 9. At number 8, I have Long Neck. Will This Do? This album did not come out on vinyl, so I have the cassette, which actually my wife got me for Christmas, so I was pretty happy about that because this is a fantastic album. I listen to it a lot. Really great stuff. I know that they're working on new music. Again, it's another indie band. They're working on some new music, and I can't wait to see what they do, and I'm really hoping that they put it out on vinyl this time. But for now, I've got the cassette. It's on red, which is pretty cool, so that's my number 8. Number 7 is Christine and the Queens, Chris. This was just a fantastic album. I'm pretty sure that this came out like on top in the UK and all the different European charts. I think that they named this the album of the year. It is really fantastic. I was happy to see it show up on a lot of US lists as well, because it definitely deserves to get the attention that it has been getting. A lot of fun, great dance music and pop music, just really good stuff. So I was really excited about this one coming out, and it did not disappoint. So this is my number 7. My number 6 album is Decemberists, I'll Be Your Girl. I was really looking forward to this one. I love the Decemberists. Their music is fantastic. And this one was really a departure for them. I mean, not a huge departure. It was still very much Decemberists feel, and they always do really cool and different stuff on their albums. But this one went a little bit more in the synth direction, which was a really cool thing. And yeah, really enjoyed this one. So this made number 6. Number 5 was Janelle Monáe, Dirty Computer. This I know was on a lot of people's lists. Fantastic album. Yeah, just so good. Such great music. I got 2 copies of this one. Has a lenticular cover. This one is the Urban Outfitters version on pink vinyl. So it's really, truly a great album. Yeah, a lot of fun and just fantastic lyrics, and yeah, good stuff. So this is my number 5. Number 4, I know, was number 1 on a lot of people's lists. Mitski, Be the Cowboy. This is such a great album. Mitski, her stuff is just phenomenal, and she just gets better and better and better, and she's getting so much attention for this album, and I think it's great. The only thing that stinks is that when she tours now, her concerts sell out like immediately, and she's playing bigger venues. When I saw her, she was playing tiny little basement venue. It was great. Really cool. It's a little harder now to get tickets for her shows, especially if you hesitate at all. So that's the only unfortunate thing about her getting a lot more well-known and a lot more attention for her music. I'm very happy for her. It's so deserved. This album is a masterpiece. So this came in at number 4. Number 3 is actually an EP, Boy Genius. I know that this was on a lot of people's lists as well. This is just so good. I mean, when you combine these 3 artists together, it's great supergroup. So it's Julian Baker, Lucy Dacus, and Phoebe Bridgers that are in this supergroup called Boy Genius. So this was their self-titled EP. Cannot wait for them to put out new music and a full-length LP. Hopefully that'll be at some point coming out. So this was my number 3. Number 2 was Nico Case, Helen. I was really disappointed that this wasn't in a lot more top lists. I know that the market is pretty saturated and flooded this year, but this was just such a great album. I really enjoy it. I mean, Nico can do anything. Her voice just is fantastic. Her songwriting is phenomenal. This is not a disappointment. It's a fantastic album. Some really incredible tracks here, and a lot of great collaborators on this album as well. Like you have Beth Ditto, Katie Lang. There's just a lot of good stuff going on here. So this was my number 2, Nico Case, Hell On. And my number 1 album is Jeremy Dutcher. I'm going to try to pronounce this. I'm probably going to pronounce it totally wrong. Walastakik Linta Wakanawa. It's a fantastic album that Jeremy is a classical tenor. He's just phenomenal singer and arranger, pianist. And this album, I showed this in I think my last video maybe, but this is an album that he did taking his ancestor songs. He I guess was told about these wax recordings that existed in a museum, and he went ahead and he digitized them, and he made new arrangements for all of his ancestor songs and incorporated bits and pieces of those original recordings in this album. It is stunning and beautiful and totally not my normal not within my normal likes. And that's, I think, what makes it so striking to me, is that it's something so outside my normal wheelhouse that, and it just immediately struck me. I love it. It's completely in just a category all by itself, and it did win the 2018 Polaris Prize in Canada, which is a really prestigious award. I have been trying to listen to more Indigenous artists this year. I did a lot more reading with different Indigenous authors and writers this year, and you know, and honestly, this album is just phenomenal and really important and special. I think the number of Indigenous folks that were in the Polaris Prize nominees, it just shows that you know, there is sort of this, as Jeremy said, like an Indigenous renaissance, and we need to be prepared for them to take back the voice that they really should have had all this time, and use it to bring us a lot of fantastic art and history that we all need to know, not just Canadians, but Americans as well. And actually pretty much everybody needs to learn this history. So this is great. This is just a phenomenal album. So excited that Jeremy won the Polaris Prize, and that he shared his beautiful music with us. So I'm already looking forward to whatever he does next. I know it's going to be phenomenal. So those are my top albums for the year and my honorable mentions. There were a million other albums I wish I could have highlighted or even talked about. There's just so much great music out there. So I can't wait to watch all you got your videos, because I know that these end of year, I kind of hate doing it as like a competition in a way, like, oh, I have to rank all of these albums that I love so much. It is difficult because it's kind of hard to necessarily say that, you know, this one comes in at 8th and this one comes in at 4th and this one comes in at 1st. There were definitely some standouts for me, but all in all, I think people are just making some really incredible music, and some very important music right now too. So, you know, I just want to be able to share it. I kind of hate ranking it because I feel like that just pits musicians or artists against each other, and that's not what I want to do. I just like to promote these people because I think they're all great artists and they deserve to be heard and supported. So maybe next year I won't necessarily rank them. I'll just sort of say these are the albums that I really, really enjoyed this year. But this year I did have a standout favorite, so I ranked them this time around, at least the top 10. But I'm looking forward to seeing everyone else's videos because I always learn about new music this way, and it's always interesting to see what people really enjoyed this year, and what did not make their list. So can't wait to watch your videos, and I hope you guys have a great new year, and hopefully soon I'll be back with a video with some of the new purchases that I pick up this year, at least in the first half of 2019. So until then, take care. Bye.